It is Thursday morning. Technically, under most circumstances, I would consider this to be still Wednesday night. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up at 3, but so it begins. Well, I'm now in Philadelphia for a rather lengthy layover, like about 3 hours. I tried to sleep on the plane. I can never sleep on planes. I can also tell I'm starting to get older, definitely, versus how it used to be, because turbulence didn't used to make me feel like I was going to be sick. Aging. I mean, it beats the alternative, but... Oh, I am checked in. I have been in cars and on airplanes and in buses for way too long, but I'm in a hotel room. So, I had meant to start recording this after day 1. I crashed so hard at the end of the day yesterday that I'm now recording this on Saturday, my second day, so I've got a lot of stuff to cover. First off, I did opt to have them put Council of Geeks because I figured it gave people the wiggle room to call me Nathaniel or call me Vera as they saw fit. Most people have gone with Nathaniel, which, yes, I have been recognized, like, to a degree that has thrown me off a little bit, but in a good way because it strokes my ego, and that's always appreciated. Another thing you'll notice on here, ribbons. So this is the thing that attendees will do. They will print out different ribbons and they will trade them with each other. So up here's the one that I did. Hate is always foolish and love is always wise, because of course I did that one. I have my Gallifrey One Virgin, Queer Whovian. Let me out of these handcuffs. You'll find out how fun I am. Gallifrey One 2020, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is Bill's speech about serving chips to that girl. And this might seem like an odd one for me to have stuck on here, but the reason I did that is because Pearl Mackie gave me that. I'll come back to that. These are not the only ribbons I got. I'll put a clip in to show you some of the others, and I've got even more since I shot that, so ribbons for days. I've seen a couple of interviews and panels. I saw an interview that Peter Davison did. I saw Tosin Cole. Beyond that, I saw Paul Cornell has this sort of late night 18 plus little comedy panel that he does. There's a number of very funny people, including Riley Silverman, who I finally got to meet. That was delightful. I have met a lot of people. I've met some people who, I've met a lot of people who know me from the channel. Some people who are even like, yeah, I'm on your live streams a lot. I'm like, that's awesome. I met Carowin, who's one of my mods, and that was fantastic. It's been really phenomenal. Oh, Jessie Gender was another one. She's not actually at the con, but she's local to LA, so she came over to the hotel and we grabbed coffee. So that was really cool. I've also been spending money, like a lot. Let's go over some swag. Okay, so I'm actually gonna open with this. I picked this up for myself. This very lovely ring, if I can get it to focus worth a darn. So this isn't just any old kind of ring. This, my friends, this is a poison ring. So you would put poison in there, sneakily just drop it in, and close it back up. So, it shouldn't be hard to guess why I needed one of these. No, not for actual practical use, but I mean, it just felt very suited. So I got this magnet, which is all of the doctors as cats. I'm queer and I fit here. We have our 10th Doctor Kitty. We have I am a social justice barbarian, gender fluid, and also gender fluid in High Gallifreyan. So I was also on a panel. That was a lot of fun. It's the first time I've ever been on a panel. It was a discussion about, it wasn't even about diversity. It wasn't really about the topic, but the topic came up a lot because it was about the ways in which me and the other panelists do or don't see ourselves in Doctor Who, and directions we'd like to see it take in the future. It was a really great discussion. I was honored to be a part of it. So that was a good time. I bought this because I couldn't stop myself. That's a theme you're going to hear a lot when it comes to these things. So, GCPD detective. Somebody was giving out these. How to land a plane without a cockpit. Yeah, I was just given this. I am still so incredibly tickled that the tissue compressor is back and that somebody had these and was giving these out. Oh, that makes me happy. What else did I do? Oh, I also did some shopping for other people. Only some of which I'm going to talk about in any great detail. Because I don't want to spill beans on things that are a little bit kind of personal gifts for other people. But I got a couple of things for Liz. If you can't read it, that is Poison Ivy, and it says Poison the Patriarchy. I bought that yesterday, but then I realized that it was kind of an incomplete gift, just getting her that, because I really needed to also get her own poison ring. Not only will she be able to poison the patriarchy, this also levels the playing field, because it's kind of unfair for me to have a poison ring and for her not to. That's an imbalance of power. Can't have that. I also bought a couple of Big Finish box sets because they were notably cheaper than they are normally. I got the War Doctor, Only the Monstrous. So that's the first set of War Doctor, which I've wanted to get for a while because I really want to get to know John Hurt's War Doctor better. So there was that, and also grabbed Missy, Series 1, because Because Missy, do you need another reason? So I've also got a purchase that was a 100% superfluous. I decided I needed this, and so I got it. This, my friends, is a dice tower. You can see some of the intricacies on it. Lovely lady warrior on it. And it came with a dice set. These are gorgeous. They're metal. From what she told me, they are like mathematically perfectly weighted. Ooh, 14, that's not bad. I did have photo ops. First one I did was with Fraser Hines. So Fraser Hines, in case folks don't immediately know that name, he played Jamie McCrimmon, who was the main consistent companion to Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor, and I love him. And I also saw his interview. He was a delight. He was wonderful. And now this was my first one of the day, and I don't love the picture. For me, like for my look, I kind of understand what I was trying for, but like it was a stupid idea. What I was trying for, because like one of my favorite moments, and he actually talked about this in his interviews from Tomb of the Cybermen, where Jamie and the Doctor, and this wasn't in the script, they weren't supposed to do this, where Jamie and the Doctor, they go to reach, to each take one of Victoria's hands to lead her into the tomb, you know, the big scary place, and they end up taking each other's hands, taking a few steps like, oh, and then going back for her, and it's a wonderful moment. And I tried to do something like that in with the photo. It didn't work, at least not my half. He did fine, but don't love me, I don't love my face. Because I was trying for like a coming up on the tomb, and he dug the idea and he understood how goofy it was. I tried to recreate the moment more straight, which was stupid. And which brings us to Pearl Mackie, who was the next one I did. And I also, after this, I got in her autograph line to have her sign it. So I'm quite happy with that picture, and she was lovely. So like when I did the autograph line, I was able to actually talk to her at least a little bit, and that's when she gave me the ribbon, because I gave her the one that I had. And also she waylaid my fear slightly, because with this picture, once I got it back and I realized my hand is not only resting on her hip, but it's like touching her bare midriff. I didn't really register when the picture was being taken, but I got the picture back and I'm like, oh God, I look like I'm drawing a cup of feel. I feel like a sleaze. And I kind of mentioned that, like, I feel a little bad. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, look at what I'm wearing. That's where your hand's supposed to go, which was wonderful and sweet and like the perfect thing she could have said in that moment. So that was really wonderful. And so the other one I've got is Peter Davison. He is a lovely, lovely person. Big smile, seemed very happy, you know, just to say hi. And when I saw him in the interviews, his stories were wonderful. He seems so excited to be here. So there's one that's missing for the stupidest reason. I had signed up to get my photo taken with Christopher Eccleston because, for God's sakes, Christopher Eccleston is here. And the thing was, his photo session time was at the exact same time as the panel I was on. And so I was paranoid, like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss it. And I got out of my panel and Eccleston wasn't done yet. And so I put myself in group 9, which was the last one, basically as a precaution. And so I get out and the line's still going, and I get in the line and they're like, are you batch 7? I'm like, no, batch 9. And I went, okay, not you yet. And my brain decided to come to the conclusion that, oh, well, this thing has been going on for like an hour, 20 minutes already. If it took them this long to get to batch 7, I've got a little time. And I wandered off. And I don't think I was even gone that long, maybe 10 minutes. And I wandered back, and they were done. That said, though, I had my mood perked up almost immediately after, because after that I went to go eat lunch, and I went to one of the restaurants in the hotel, just upstairs, and I was prepared to sulk And I didn't even see the person who did this. Somebody just walked by and just put down this this card on my table and walked past and like immediately walked out of sight, you know. And I picked it up, and on one side it was a printed card and it said, "You are awesome." And on the other side was a handwritten note basically thanking me for being visible. I don't know if the person who did that will ever see this, but that, you could not have timed that better. And the level of appreciation that I mean, like, I would have appreciated that at any time, regardless of circumstances, but the level of appreciation shot up significantly. You gave me that at a moment when I needed it, and thank you so much. So that's day 2. Gallifrey One is over. I did manage to get my picture with Eccleston. They let me in even though I missed my previous day, and I was able to catch him right at the very end. He stayed late to keep doing signings, so I managed to get it signed. By the time this goes up, it won't be a big deal, but we got to see the new episode before it aired in the US, so that was really cool. My review will already have been up by now. Something going on down the hall. This might be the bit I close out the video with. I'm on the shuttle waiting to get taken to the airport. I really need to try and sleep on it because I'm going to be arriving in the early AM, and then I'd have to basically go into my day. We'll see how that goes. I want to thank all you for making this possible, because I could not even have come close to being able to afford to do this and make this work without the level of support that I have on the channel, with subscribers, the Patreon support, the people who donate in the super chats. All of this, you folks made this possible, and I want to thank you so much for that. And I think there's only one thing that I can leave you with. Run fast, laugh hard, be kind.